Hey there, it's Richard Newbie Prepping, and the state that the world's in today makes me believe that prepping is extremely important, and a lot of other people are starting to think the same as well. And this video is all about hammocks, hammocks that you can use in an SHTF scenario. It's geared more towards newbies, newbies to wild camping, bushcraft as well as prepping. But if you're not new and just looking for a fresh take, then I've got some recommendations for you too. Some people out there might not find it comfortable enough to sleep in bashers or in tents or anything like that when you're in a harsh environment like a forest. And some other people might be thinking, well, you're in an SHTF scenario, survival is the most important thing. And honestly, that is very true. But at the same time, if it's a long-term SHTF scenario, then you're gonna wanna be comfortable. Eventually, if you're out in a harsh environment for a long time, if you're not comfortable, then it's likely you're not even going to want to survive for much longer. So comfort, in my opinion, does come into it very much so, and hammocks play a huge part in that. In past episodes of What a Piece of Kit, I have recommended an item and then I've recommended possible upgrades to that item afterward, but this time I'm going to flip it the other way around because I know that hammock enthusiasts are very cutthroat in their opinions, so I want to make sure to show off like the better ones, the more higher quality, more expensive ones, just to appease them first. So I went on to the Bushcraft and Wild Camping UK Facebook page and I threw up a thread, and lots of people commented and left really good recommendations, so thank you very much to you people. Hennessy hammocks and knapsack hammocks were the ones that were recommended the most by far. There was also henge hammocks and easy hammocks as well, but I'm just going to focus on the first three right now. You can see here the knapsack adventurer is the cheapest one of these three, coming in at £55, but that is with the cheapest ridgeline option. It does get more expensive with the better ones, so hammock enthusiasts might actually encourage you to go for the more expensive stuff. So even though 55 might seem quite decent, especially compared to the ones that I'm going to show you myself later on, but that price is just for the hammock and the cheapest option of ridgeline setup. The Hennessy Expedition is the next one on the list. It's just over double the price of the previous one, but you get everything with it, including a built-in tarp that goes over the top. And these hammocks are made famous by the fact that you get in from underneath the hammock as opposed to in the side. I've heard conflicting reports. Some people love it, some people don't like it as much. But Hennessy hammocks are extremely popular. So the Henge Blackbird XLC, it's the most expensive one of the hammocks that I've shown here. I'm not really sure what it does differently to earn that big price tag. Probably better quality material, stronger stuff, but it comes extremely highly recommended to a point where everyone that recommended this particular hammock, all of them had a story about how they had other hammocks before, including the ones that I've already mentioned, and then they've upgraded to this one and they've just been blown away by the quality of it. So if this isn't a perfect recommendation for an upgrade, then I don't know what is. So there we go, right up top we got some perfect recommendations of hammocks to upgrade to. But what if you're just starting out? What if you're not sure that hammock camping is going to be for you and you want to try it out with some cheaper options? Well, there are plenty of cheap options on Amazon. The one that I went for is the Covacure Hammock. It's the XL version, the one where the mosquito net is intermingled with the hammock itself. It doesn't need a separate ridgeline to stay up. In my opinion, that creates less faff and you've just got more space within the hammock itself. The price tag at £21 to £27 is pretty good because you can buy one and not really have to worry if you don't like it very much, because you know, £27 is not really that much money, especially compared to the ones that you can upgrade to. I personally find the hammock pretty comfortable. It is big enough for me. However, the problem is the parachute material is so thin that when you're sleeping in it, the wind going underneath, it will cause quite a bit of a chill. So you're either going to need an under blanket or a camping mat to go underneath you while you're in the hammock. That is something to keep in mind when you're buying a hammock, is how thick the material is, because if it's too thin, then you will get chilly in the middle of the night. Unless you've got the aforementioned under blanket or camping mat. I personally run a camping mat because they squash down to nothing, it's easier to carry them. I quite like this style of strap as well. It's one where you tie it around the tree and string it through the loop at the end of the strap. It's very comfortable for the tree, it doesn't harm the tree at all, and it's very strong as well. So in my opinion, the Covacure hammock from Amazon is really good for when you're just starting out hammock camping. But if you want to skip that small step there and go to something that's a little bit better, a little bit more premium, then this is what I've got to recommend. It's the DD hammock. This one here is probably the simplest form of the DD hammock. It's called the DD camping hammock. It's about 650 grams. It's got 10 meters of webbing, which is a different sort of strap, which I'll go into in a sec. And it's also got a zipped base layer, so you can put one of the aforementioned camping mats into it, which will help stop it from moving about whenever you're sleeping in it at night, especially if you're the sort of person that moves a lot when you're sleeping. As you can see here, this isn't the same sort of strap as the one from before. This sort of strap is called webbing, and it's very simple. You simply just take the two ends, tie it around the tree, and then tie off a simple knot there, and it's very effective at keeping your hammock up. I found it comfortable enough sleeping at night in it. I'm 6'3" and I've had no trouble with the size of the hammock, but for some people it might still be a bit too small. They do XL versions of these hammocks, so that might be something for you to look into. Some of the other DD hammocks can run from medium to high range prices, but this one is quite a decent price at around £30 at time of recording this video. So again, it's another hammock that you can get if you're not sure that hammock camping is going to be for you. But now we move on to the hammock that I personally run the most, the DD travel hammock slash bivvy. This hammock does have a mosquito net sewn into it, but it does require a ridge line to hold it up. The main difference between this and other DD hammocks is that it has a waterproof base, which means it can be laid flat on the ground and used as a bivvy bag. The main issue that I have is that it doesn't come with supporting poles. So it makes it difficult to keep the mosquito net up and away from you if you want a tarp above you, because the only way to keep the mosquito net up is to suspend it with a ridge line. But saying that, it's not impossible to do it. It's just a little finicky, but in my opinion it doesn't hinder the performance of the hammock itself, especially if you're using it as intended as a hammock. The bivvy feature is just a cool little feature that can be used if the need arises. This hammock also has a space in between layers so that you can put insulation in as well to keep you warm. I took a sit down in this DD hammock and I didn't feel the cold as much as I did when I sat down in the Covacure hammock. So that tells you immediately that the materials are a lot better quality and actually help with keeping the heat in even when you don't have any insulation inside of it. And you can also take the mosquito net off when it's not needed as well. This is the same size as the camping hammock, but like I said, I've had no problem with the size at all. I fit in quite well, quite easily. The price of this travel hammock slash bivvy is £55, which in my opinion is very good value for money, considering you're getting a 2-in-1, a hammock and a bivvy bag. And basically, yeah, this is just my hammock of choice. I like the fact that it can be used as a dual purpose. In my opinion, that's perfect for a prepper lifestyle. If you want to use it as a hammock and stay suspended above the ground, then you can. But if you absolutely have to get on the ground, stay stealthy, then you can use it as a bivvy if you need to. Alrighty, so those are my recommendations for hammocks. I hope that I've helped you out if you're a newbie, and I hope I've helped you out if you're not a newbie, but you were just looking for a new hammock and you wanted some recommendations. Alrighty, well, thank you very much for watching, and please like and share and subscribe and do all of that stuff. It would be very much appreciated. Leave a comment down below as well of your favorite hammock. If you're a regular hammock user, that would be perfect. People could go down and read the comments and get other ideas for recommendations too. Alrighty. Most importantly, leave me a comment letting me know, were these awesome pieces of kit, or were they just loads of